We're having a bit of a tough time right now. The COVID virus is on the way up. President Trump has it. People at Jay's have it. The economy's not doing that great. There are just a lot of problems. Well, actually, and on Tuesday, if you watch the presidential debate, things are not looking good. And so, fortunately, for the readings of the Mass, I usually read them a couple of weeks ahead of time, but I also read them over and over and over again during the week. And I draw your attention to our second reading, the reading from the letter of St. Paul to the Philippians. Strongly recommend. Cut this out and put it on your refrigerator or on your bathroom mirror, somewhere where you can read this over and over again. It starts off with one of the things that I hate. Brothers and sisters, have no anxiety at all. And I always think, whenever anybody tells me don't have any anxiety, I tend to become more anxious. And in a week like we've had this week, it's almost like someone, you fall overboard and you call for a lifesaver and they throw you the life preserver, but they only throw it about halfway. And they say, all right, well, we threw you a life preserver, but it's nowhere near me. What do I do? And so St. Paul says to the Philippians, have no anxiety at all. And I think, oh, well, that's great, but it's not very practical. And so what Paul does is he follows it immediately with very practical ideas. And so again, I'm suggesting strongly, take this home and read it over every day. He says, have no anxiety at all, but in everything, by prayer, petition, with thanksgiving, make your request known to God. Prayer it could be formal prayers that we say. It could be having a conversation with God where we not only talk, but we listen. It can be praising God. It can be glorifying God. It can be offering ourselves to the Lord. One form of prayer would be petitions. And so, by prayer and petition, so this specific type of prayer, ask God to help. And I strongly recommend, again, don't ask for selfish things. Pray for other people. You're really upset at somebody? Pray for their good. This helps us to have no anxiety. It's very, very practical. And open your heart and make your request known to God. But do it with thanksgiving. Then the peace of God that surpasses all understanding will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. So if you want to be without anxiety, pray and petition and give thanks to God and talk to Him. Because then that peace of God will guard your hearts and minds. And then the next thing he says, and again, this is so practical, all right? When everything around us seems to be, falling apart, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is gracious, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. So when everything seems really bad, look for the good things. All right, what is true, honorable, just, pure, lovely, gracious. If there's any excellence, don't wait until it's perfect. This, again, is especially true of your enemies or people that annoy you. Married couples, all right? Really good when thinking about your spouse. Don't wait until they're perfect. Look for anything good. Look for anything excellent. If there's anything worthy of praise, focus on that. And then he says, keep on doing what you have learned and received and heard and seen in me. Good way to remember this is, if we want what St. Paul has, we have to do what St. Paul did. If you want what we have, do what we do. And St. Paul has just given us a nice little outline of things that we can do to give us that peace of mind, that peace of God that will guard our hearts and our minds so that we do not get weighed down during these troubled times. When we are doing this, we will be producing fruit, and only then, this would be referred to in the first reading, the responsorial psalm and the gospel, only then can we make a return to God. Only then do we have something fruitful to give to God. So again, take the bulletin home, cut out this little passage from St. Paul, put it somewhere and read it every day.